Good morning, America and the rest of the world. Xander J. Hobson here. The Brilliant Artist Movement, Hell for Leather News. First and foremost, I want to apologize about the delay. My PC broke, and unfortunately, I don't know how to do any video editing with my phone, so, I fell off for a split second. It was unintentional. So let's look at what's going on around the area. Over in Atlantic City, the mayor, Frank Gilliam, has resigned after pleading guilty to wire fraud. Frank Gilliam having pilfered close to $90,000 from some fund that had been allotted to youth basketball teams or something to that effect. Frank Gilliam, there's footage of him slugging it out in the parking lot with some fellas. Frank Gilliam behaving like John Street and Francis Rafferty. We remember those days of those two going at it in the at some meeting. Frank Gilliam is looking at some time. He might, I think his maximum is maybe like 20 years, but he hopefully only gets like 5 years. Even though Frank Gilliam is a rough and tumble cutthroat, he's still a brother, and I hope that hopefully he doesn't go to jail for too long. I would imagine that there are some politicians rolling around in their grave right now as we speak at the notion of one of the members of their ranks being in jail for taking a cut, for brokering a deal. I would imagine that most people get into politics so they could pick up a couple extra dollars. But ever since there's been a large number of African Americans elected to office, it seems that the federal government has cracked down on politicians who get a cut, a brokering a deal. I can remember years ago when John Street stood up there and said that the brothers and sisters are running things. And at the time, President George W. Bush said, "Oh, yeah? Y'all niggas is running things in Philadelphia, huh?" And after that, an investigation followed, and a bunch of people got caught up, my cousin Corey Kemp being one of them. They was trying to get at John Street. And the other guy, Ryan White, ended up dying, and he left my cousin Corey holding the bag. So, that's unfortunate, because me, for one, I believe that politicians should be able to skim a couple of dollars off the top. In my opinion, nobody does something for nothing. You get people to say you're elected to office and you're paid a handsome salary. And that may be true, but I just believe everyone should get a couple of extra dollars for, for their effort. That's my opinion on that. The city council president over there in Atlantic City, Maurice Hill, I believe the gentleman's name, he will be stepping in as the interim mayor. Let's move here to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We're going back to July 2018. And what transpired in that time frame, a young man by the name of Michael White stabbed a real estate broker by the name of Sean Schellinger to death after an altercation. From what I gathered and understand, an argument transpired, and Big Sean Schellinger jumped out of his car and put his foot in Michael White's ass. And as a result of that, Michael White stabbed him and killed him. Well, the DA has decided to drop the third-degree murder charges against Michael White. And he's going to charge him with obstruction of justice and a few other charges. Well, if you ask me, first and foremost, I think it is a tragedy that someone lost their life. Let's just put that on the table, okay? But also, I think it was a good thing that the district attorney dropped those charges against that young man. You have Sean Schellinger, He was a hothead, from what I gathered, and he jumped out of the car and he attacked this kid. And here's a kid that's riding around on a bicycle. He's trying to make an honest living, and then you got this thug in a suit that just happened to be a white guy, and he attacks him, and this kid kills him in self-defense. It was one of those unfortunate circumstances where a bad temper and bad judgment got an individual killed. First and foremost, people, you should never jump out of your car. You are safe as long as you stay in your car. But the second that you jump out of your vehicle during an altercation, you are dead wrong. You are not protected under the law. That is why the DA dropped those charges, because Sean Schellinger got out of his car and attacked that young man. Had Sean Schellinger stayed in that car and not bothered that young man, none of that stuff would have happened. Again, it's unfortunate that he lost his life, but he should have stayed in that goddamn car and he would be alive today. So out in Texas, Amber Geiger, former Dallas police officer, was found guilty of killing Botham Jean. Botham Jean was sitting there in his apartment, minding his own business and eating ice cream. And here come Amber Geiger through the door, and she shoots him dead because she was under the impression that she was in her apartment, and this black man, Botham Jean, was sitting there chilling and eating ice cream. And Amber Geiger kills the man dead. Well, fortunately, that jury found Amber Geiger guilty, and they sentenced her to 10 years. And in a stunning turn of events, Botham's brother, Brant, he got up there on that stand and he forgave Amber Geiger. And he even asked to give her a hug, saying that he didn't want her to go to jail. Now, I'm certain that he's going to catch a lot of hell from some of his family members for that. But I honestly think that was a big thing, because in order to heal, one has to let go of hate. Um, Even though I am glad that they're going to lock Amber Geiger's ass up and she didn't get away with killing both of them. I honestly could see how she made that mistake. A lot of people say, well, how could you do that? You know you're not in your apartment. You just shoot the man. Well, shit happens, and that's really what it boils down to. Um, I'm glad that she didn't get away with it. It would have been a tragedy if she would have got away with it. But I think that was an honest mistake. I think Amber Geiger was talking on the phone to her boyfriend at the time when this transpired, and she just wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. Personally, I think Amber Geiger was trying to get to her boyfriend so she could get some dick. She was just rushing and she really wasn't paying attention. I mean, we've all made mistakes like that. We've gone to the wrong car. There have been times we even went to the wrong houses. So, don't stop trying to look at it as if it was a racist thing, and that, she was this hideous woman that woke up that morning saying, I'm going to kill the guy that lives upstairs.
Thank you, Chuck.
Bam!
Bam!
My man.
My man.
Here and there, we like our ups and downs. For everybody, you gotta remember the Africa Centre.